You are now listening to the Serious Growth Podcast with your host, Leo Costa Jr.
Here we are again, folks. Today is the day after Christmas. And I got to tell you guys something. The main reason that I'm coming on and doing this solo today is because I'm checking in on you. You know, I spend a lot of time, which I do it willingly. You know, I love doing what I'm doing and I talk a lot. I'm full of it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I come on these podcasts and these solos. Anything that I do is based on, in my mind, information. I'm trying to give you firsthand information built in the trenches from years and years of experience. You cannot discount that ever, you young ones. You're out there. You're probably sleeping today, but you can't discount what I'm talking about. And that's my goal, is to always make sure, my goal 40 years ago when I started all this was to make sure that I was giving information to people that was based on my own firsthand experience. And nothing has changed in my life to this day. I still wake up. Any of you that are following me on my podcasts or my videos that I shoot, it's always based on information, some entertainment. Really don't care about that as much as it's based on good information. And ideally, I don't want to talk about the same old stuff that's being talked about in the industry, because in a lot of cases, that's not where it's at. It's the old school type of thinking, and it's based on doing it yourself. You know, I've talked about the difference between theory and application. Think of it like this, and this is what I want you to be, and I'm going to get into why I'm on this podcast today, is I want you to be a practitioner of your life, of your own life, and not a bystander. So what happens with a lot of people, and I will tell you this, I think it's human nature, because I have a tendency, I listen to Audible and I listen to all kinds of people that are talking about their knowledge. I think it's important that we learn. That's a good source to get knowledge, is through other people, because you can immediately tap into what their opinions are, their knowledge. I think that's really good stuff. Don't get me wrong. But here's when I think it becomes a detriment to you, is when all of a sudden you are a bystander in life and all you're doing is listening to people like myself. And I don't, like I said, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but when it gets to the point where you're on the sideline and you never take that information and make it your own and become a practitioner of your own life, get it? You get in the game of life every single day. And what I think that you should be doing, in my humblest opinion, is that what you want in your life, if you want something in your life, no matter what it is, if you want to bring something into your life, maybe you don't like the way your life is going, or maybe you do, but you just want to take it to another level. You have to be a willing participant. You have to do daily things that you want to come into your life, if that makes sense. And the secondary benefit of all that, when you're a practitioner and not a bystander of life, is you're in the game. You're in your life, the game of life. And you start figuring out, you will figure out, if you stay in it, it's only logical that if you stay in it, no matter what, because it's going to be full of setbacks, because that's part of it. When you're a practitioner, you're experimenting with things. You're trying things out for you. You take all this information over here that you're getting from the people that you're listening to, and you take some of that stuff and you apply it to you. Because I got to tell you something. Just because people are giving their opinions and showing you how they did it, that's very specific to them. And a good example of that simply is if I told you, look, if we're talking about bodybuilding now, and if we just said, look, Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the greatest bodybuilders in the sport. So how about if I just put everybody doing the same routine that Arnold did. Do you think you're all going to get the same result that Arnold did? Hells to the no, you will not. And that's just my point. You have to take information that you get over here as a bystander, listening and reading, tapping into that other person's knowledge and ideas and opinions. Then you have to take it to the next step. But you always have to be a practitioner of your own life. Get it? Hugely important. You will experiment, you will fail, you will learn that failing is a part of the process. You will learn that in order for you to get where you want to get, there will always be obstacles. It never gets better. And if it does, you better create some havoc in your life, because that's really the only way that you can truly grow physically, mentally, and emotionally. So here's my question for those of you that are out there.
All right, let's take a quick break so I can tell you about our product.
Do you want a bone-crushing grip? Good, because you're gonna get one with the amazing new TRS gripper. It's a progressive grip builder with longer handles and a special ergonomic design that's like a dozen hand grippers in one. Start off easy and work your way up to quickly build your grip strength from wet noodle to pulverizing. The package includes a video from the world-famous strength coach, Dr. Russ Horine, the man who worked with Leo Costa to help bring you big beyond belief in the Bulgarian Power Burst. Dr. Horine shows you a simple and easy to follow workout plan that takes just minutes a day right from in front of your TV set if you want. So click on the link below and let's get started building you a stronger, firmer, bone-crushing grip.
Did you maintain your regimen on Christmas Day or today? Maybe today's a little bit too soon to be asking this question, but even leading up to, because I know like in our gym, I could feel the environment starting to loosen up. It wasn't quite as intense. Not that it really is in my type of studio compared to a hardcore gym. In my studio, the hour that it is intense is between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. But even at that hour, because that's usually where more of the people are a little more serious. I'm not discounting the other people that are going in. Don't get your panties all up in a bunch, but it's a little more serious in that 5 to 6 o'clock hour. And I noticed there that I could feel the intensity, feel the edge. People just, they're getting into the Christmas spirit. Nothing wrong with that. But it bugs me because I don't change things like that. And I'm basically hard on myself like I'm going to be hard on you. I don't give a rat's ass what's going on. You never change and come off the routine or the regimen that you're on. If you have a stated goal, no matter what is going on, Christmas, New Year, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The funny thing is, maybe this is, I've done this for so long that it just becomes a part of what I do. And I think that's really important for you that are trying to accomplish something, is you got to create something that's a daily habit. This daily habit and building personal power and developing personal power, unlike the shiny object syndrome, this stuff is built, personal power and real strength and all that kind of stuff is built slowly, very slowly. And, so you have to get it to the point where it just becomes a way of life for you. And I was just thinking the other day how for the last several years, and when I was in my bodybuilding days, most of the time in my bodybuilding days, especially when I started competing at an intermediate level, I was always dieting during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I was always dieting, and I find myself still doing the same damn thing. It's out of a habit. And hopefully this is what you get yourself to, is a damn habit that you can't break, because you don't let yourself break because you keep doing the same thing. If it's productive And it will be at some point if you just keep making adjustments. You know, it certainly isn't going to happen like a lot of these people that are always looking for the next best thing. That's a silent killer for results and for personal development. Because I guarantee you that 99% of the time, or at least 95% of the time, you will be disappointed. Those quick fix, anything that you do will disappoint you. You'll end up in worse shape than when you started that program. So for somebody like me, you know, as much as I try to relate and be empathetic, I can't. Fuck it, I can't. Never let this thing go with habits. Never let that go. You need to hold yourself accountable. You need to be hard on yourself every single day. Do something that's uncomfortable every single day. Hold yourself accountable. Guess what? Humans are weak. We're all weak. But that's not a good enough excuse for you not to maintain. If you start something and you have a stated goal, because you're not going to do this if you don't have a stated goal, you must have a sense of purpose. Otherwise, it's not going to last. Don't fool yourself. You know, this is a problem with people after the first of the year, which really fries my ass, is they get all hyped up. They get all fired up about these New Year's resolutions. Most of you will fail and come up short on your New Year's resolutions. I'm not being the bearer of bad news. I'm not being a downer. I'm just telling you how it is. Don't fool yourself. How you can help improve your chances of being successful: have a sense of purpose. Have a stated goal. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what do you want? You're a practitioner of your own life. What do you want in your life? State a goal. Commit to it, no matter what. Punish yourself if you fall off the wagon. We're too coddled. We're too sensitive these days. Punish yourself. Because when you start doing that, that's when you grow emotionally, mentally, physically. That's how you grow. That's how you develop personal growth. How else do you think that you do this? Shiny object syndromes are not the way to go. The shiny object, that's the next best thing. Bullshit. If it looks too good to be true, have you heard of that? If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Well, it is. It is. Don't feel sorry for yourself. It doesn't make any sense. What good does that do? Have a sense of purpose, state your goal, and by all means, keep moving forward until you reach your goal. That's my advice for the upcoming year. Still got a few days here in December. You know, have a good talk with yourself, cry about it, feel sorry for yourself about it. But let's change the way that most people end up after the New Year's resolutions. Disappointed, victimized, so they think, and they're on that merry-go-round and that they can't get off. We're all weak. We're all operating from weakness to a degree. But the good news is we have it in us. We do. We have so much internal strength and internal powers if we're just willing to access that. If we're just willing to take that leap and know that I could fail and still do that. Fail every single day, because at some point it'll be a victory. Until next time I talk to you guys out there, you better tell me. And if I ask the question, are you staying on your regiment no matter what? The answer better be yes. I'm not playing around with you guys. Get Serious Growth.
Thanks for listening to the Serious Growth Podcast. For more episodes like the one you just listened to, subscribe to us on your mobile podcast app and leave us a review. If you'd like to reach out, you can find us online at seriousgrowth.com. Until next time, train smart and train hard.